and Sunday best.
Yes, we are back with this Sunday morning serving of gossip, games, and a big word alert, plethora of great guests.
Now, joining in the fun today are my old music mates, icons of the 80s, Karen and Sarah from Bananarama.
Yes!
Now, they're in the bubble, so it's great that they're here together.
Yes, and next to me is the multi-award winning artist. It's Katie Melua, everyone! Great news as well, she is giving us an exclusive performance of her latest single.
Now, he may have just turned 80, but he shows no signs of slowing down, so Cliff Richard is dropping in from the clouds to tell us about his new music that's bound to be a hit anyway, thanks to his army of loyal fans.
Yeah, and as if all of those lovely people weren't enough, the Clouds delivering double guests today. Strictly's scariest judge, waltzing in, it's Craig Revel Horwood, everyone! Okay, now, girls, normally we would base a music question right now, okay? But what I want to do is I want to kick off with a question of which iconic toy was created this month back in 1980.
Toy.
So toy, I'm talking toy. Now, Katie, I'm going to come to you first. It is currently celebrating its 40th anniversary.
1980, I'm going to attempt and say the Rubik's Cube.
Ooh, very good. Good shout. Well, girls, what are you saying?
I want to say something
Skateboard?
like the
Skateboard?
Game Boy.
Game Boy?
Game Boy? 1980?
Yeah, Game Boy, that's about right.
Tetris?
We used to play. We used to.
I was going to say, I had a Sega Mega Drive. The Segas were like this big. That was in...
Was it?
Was it
the
Tetris?
little handheld ones. I'm sure we used to play them on planes.
Atari, I think Atari was in the 80s. That was very close.
Yeah,
but it's good guess nonetheless, Atari.
I get very confused.
Good shout.
Yeah, that's good. It's good. Good shout. Dad, what about yourself?
Oh, man, toy in the 80s. What about a Furby? Is that...
Furby, I think was 90s.
Yeah.
Was that 90s?
Yeah, because they were really creepy. You put your finger in the mouth and they'd go.
I bought you some, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. It's
And they used to
scary.
speak to each other.
Yeah, they're scary. They're scary. But yes, the answer was, in fact, the Rubik's Cube. Well done. It was actually the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube was created by Hungarian sculptor and professor of architecture Erno Rubik, who originally called it the Magic Cube. But in 1980, he licensed it, realised it's going to make more money and probably I should put my name to it. So he then changed its name to the Rubik's Cube. And I actually want to have a go. Yeah.
Nice catch.
Very good, thank you.
I've never been able to do that.
Girls, have a go. There it is.
That's
Good catch.
That's pointless.
Coming in, Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There it is.
Right.
Right.
Oh, gosh.
Now, they actually
How
said...
long have we got?
Well, exactly. So I don't actually think... I think it's almost like some form of, like, cheat that they know that is already in the cube. But then I've seen that, like, they have people that have been doing it for years and they can mend it in different ways. I don't know. It's very strange. But the reason why I wanted to bring this up as well is because I want to introduce you to someone who is an expert. Ooh. She is the world record holder for solving 30 Rubik's Cubes one-handed.
Wow.
Whilst hula hooping. Yes. And she did it in less than an hour. Right, she did it in less than an hour. And did I mention, Katie, she's only 11 years old.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Before we chat to her, let's take a look at her in record-breaking action. Okay, so all the way from Canada, please say hello to Sankavi Ratha!
Sankavi, when did you complete your first Rubik Cube then?
I completed my first Rubik's Cube over the school March break, and it took a lot of practice to complete my first Rubik's Cube. And I used different books and algorithms to solve the cube.
Oh, wow.
And why decide to do it while you're hula hooping, though, to make it even more difficult?
So since I was bored during the pandemic, and since I spent a lot of my time at home, just for fun, I decided to Rubik's Cube solve and hula hoop together. Once I got good at it, my parents took a video of me solving a Rubik's Cube while hula hooping, and we sent it to some friends. They loved it, and they suggested trying for a Guinness World Records title, and that encouragement led me to breaking a Guinness World Record.
I mean, that is unbelievable. I guess one of my other things is that You made it, I mean, 10 times harder. You're doing this one-handed. I mean, what made you do it one-handed and how hard is it?
I do it one-handed because I have a brachial plexus injury on my right hand. And I did it one-handed just to prove to everyone that anyone can do anything they believe in.
Oh, mate, that's wicked. Sankavi, thank you so much for coming on to the show today, and congratulations on that amazing thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it is incredible. Let's hear it for Sankavi, everyone. Thank you.
Brilliant. Well done.
Hi, mate. Now, they are an iconic 80s band, loved all over the world, that had hit after hit. I am talking all of the big ones.
Ro, just stop embarrassing me, will you? We talk about my band every week we're on. We do. It's non-stop.
I'm not. I'm not. I would actually talk about Mum more than you. Hey, I was a wham person. Now, I am talking about the band behind dance floor fillers such as...
And
You can set me free, 'cause I'm guilty as
what was that? It's How you doing, guys? You all right?
Can I just say, I never wore leg warmers, thank you.
You never? No, I never either.
No,
I couldn't
The
quite
entire
understand.
audience did, though, let's be real.
Yeah, I couldn't quite understand what they did. But listen, you got your first book out, autobiography,
Yes.
really saying something. Why has it taken this long?
I feel like we're approaching our 40th anniversary in a couple of years. I think you've celebrated yours with Spandau. And
That's right.
I think that's quite a long period of time to have been working in the music business, so it felt like the right time.
Yeah, it's long enough, isn't it? Listen, I bet you've got some amazing stories
Well,
in
we're
there.
actually talking about a longer period of time because we've actually known each other sort of 50 years, if we're being perfectly honest. So it's a story of friendship and what we've done together from when we were kids meeting at school.
So how old were you when you first met?
Oh, really small.
So, yeah, babies.
Where were you when you first met? Do you remember that?
We met
at
in the
school,
playground,
yeah.
so we were about 4, but we got to know each other really well when we were about best friends from 11, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you were in the choir together, weren't
Yes,
you?
we were. And that was in sort of primary school. We were in the choir together.
So you've got lots of dirt on one another, I dare say, in the book.
Yes,
Not at that
well, we're
age.
not spilling dirt on one another necessarily. We've been very honest about each other.
Yeah.
And how the friendships had ups and downs. And oh my God, look at that one.
It is so... I'm sorry, that is so cool. That is a
photo
great
book.
photo.
But you know, you said you're being really honest about each other in
We
the
have.
book. So when you got to read each other's pieces in the book, was it
Yeah.
a shock what you
I
were
think
reading?
it was. I think it was.
Yeah.
And I
Were you
think-
surprised at anything?
I think we learned a lot about each other.
Yeah.
I didn't know what Karen was going through when she moved to Cornwall and how the groups had it, you know, their ups and downs and how we were actually both feeling. So it was quite...
I think back in the day we were so close that we kind of thought we knew everything about each other, but we never really talked about how we felt about stuff personally.
Yeah.
And that seemed to pass the friendship by. So
But you know what a
what's-
sort of treadmill it was from
Yeah.
your own group. You just
Yeah.
keep going and going and suddenly you just think, I've
Yeah.
got to stop. Because
I tell you why I asked that, because me and Shirley just got our book out. I don't say anything, I'm not
I
plugging
know.
it.
Are you for real?
I'm just
How
saying,
exciting.
but it's very
Mate.
similar where the two of us have
Yes.
written it. And
Yeah.
when I was reading what Shirley thought about me, I was thinking, that's it, divorce. But in the book as well, you talk a lot about, you know, our dear friend George,
Yes.
right? And
Yeah.
your memories of him.
Yeah.
And what a wonderful man he was.
We have so many memories, even, you know, you guys as well. We went to Necker Island when Harley, your daughter, was like a tiny little baby. Had to rush around and find a mosquito net for her to sleep under.
That's right.
We
And
went
Yeah.
scuba diving and only George and I failed at it. But you loved it, didn't you? You
Well,
went-
I loved it, and it's one of my favourite memories of all time.
Yeah.
Is us guys. Do you remember when we
I'm
went
afraid
scuba
I
diving?
didn't
She
go
didn't
because
go.
I was doing a
You didn't go.
hello shoot with
She
Andrew
wasn't
in
invited.
Tuscany.
No.
And I couldn't get out of it, so I couldn't go to Necker.
And
so
what's your favourite
Please
memory?
don't rub
My
it in.
favourite memory is all the guys looking behind myself, scuba diving through a tunnel of coral.
Yes,
in
I
Necker Island.
remember
Do
you
you
coming
remember
up and
that?
showing off, yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was
'Cause I
so
hadn't done it.
beautiful.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
George
remember
bought
that.
everybody that for for his birthday,
He
didn't
was
he?
just the most
Remember?
generous person.
And he flew us all out on that DC-10.
And it was discos every night. It was just
Yeah, I just said,
paradise,
please don't rub
wasn't
it in.
Guys, listen, thank you so much for coming in
Thank
today.
you.
And
Thank you.
listen, just stick around, have some
Will
fun
do.
with us.
Great.
Really saying something, brilliant autobiography out now. Go and get it.
Right, it is Sunday, so it is Sunday selfie time, where we like to find out what you've been doing whilst we're on air. So here is a couple of shout-outs. Let's start with baby Alfie, enjoying the show with his dad, Martin. Now, I'm not sure if he's referencing my dad, Martin, or if his dad, Martin, is actually in the picture. Nonetheless, very flexible child. Yes. Very, very flexible.
That looks so much like you when you were that age, Ro. I remember that so well, that position. I really do. That was usually just before you weed in my face.
All right. Sunday morning. Right, let's move on, please, God. Blake, clearly very dedicated viewer, taking time out on his 5th birthday to come and say hello. Well, happy birthday, Blake. Hope you had a great one. Also, in the corner back there, hello, Rubik's Cube.
Oh, yeah.
The white cross.
You know what I get from that picture, Ro, is how happy that boy looks. It's so great.
Yeah, man.
So great.
There it is. Love it. Love the dinosaur PJs as well. And also being on holiday hasn't stopped Sue from watching the show from her log cabin in the Lake District with her huskies, Timber and Finn.
Oh, I love
Look at those guys. I
He
mean,
is
there must have been something smelly on your shoe, Dad, because that dog is going after it. That dog is going after it. Really
Yeah,
is.
really.
I love that. Very bougie log cabin. Listen, time to take a break, but stay with us because Strictly's Craig Revel Horwood is dropping in to tell us who he thinks will win the Glitter Ball this year. I'm so sorry. Every time I mention his name, I will have to do the voice. I can't help myself. And also, the incredibly talented Katie Melua will be treating us to an exclusive performance of her hit single, and Sir Cliff Richard will be dropping by for a chat.
Plus, we're going to introduce you to a psychic who knows exactly what your pet pooch is trying to tell you. Just by looking at a picture of them. See you after the break.
Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Now, with us in the studio today, we've got Bananarama and Katie Melua.
Yes, and shortly, Strictly Judge Craig Revel Horwood is going to tell us who he thinks he'll be giving a 10 to in this year's lineup.
And the one and only Sir Cliff Richard is virtually dropping in to talk about his new music, celebrating his 80th birthday, and the long-awaited autobiography.
Yeah, and each week we like to give you a little gold moment. Okay, now this week's sounds like a Shaggy Dog story. That's not getting any laughs. You'll see where I'm going. You see where I'm going? Right. Basically, we have found a psychic who can communicate telepathically with animals. She says she can tell you what your pet is thinking just by looking at a photo. So please put your hands together and welcome from Worcester, Beth Lee Crowther, everyone. Beth, hello.
Hello.
Hello, Beth. Beth, thank you for coming on the show, firstly. I guess my main question would be, when did you realise you could talk to animals?
I've always known, Roman, that I can talk to animals. I just thought it was normal when you grew up. If you got pets, you understood what they were thinking, what they were feeling, and that you would get messages into your mind from them. It wasn't until I got a bit older that I realised other people weren't experiencing what I was experiencing.
Would you be able to tell exactly what my dad's dog is thinking if I showed you a photo?
Yes, absolutely. I'm certainly willing to try.
Okay, well, let's show Beth the photo. So there she is. That is Iris, Beth.
Okay. Iris, I feel, is a very sensitive soul, and she matches you, Martin, because you're a very sensitive person.
Oh.
And I feel that you are very tuned into her. But what I really think is wonderful is that you've come together for a great reason. And I feel that she's been in very difficult circumstances in the past. And I feel that she needs a lot of love and understanding. So you might find that you've got to really give her a lot of cuddles, a lot of security, because she hasn't known whether she's been coming or going for a long time. So I feel that there's been changes of home or circumstances for her as soon as I look at her.
Well, I think you're absolutely right. And when Iris came to us, they told us that she was 5 years old, right? And she was perfectly formed, beautiful redhead dog. And after a few weeks, the paint started to wear off and we could see the grey underneath, where she most probably about 10.
Yeah.
But she's beautiful. But you're spot on, I have to say, spot on.
I mean, Iris was actually from China. No. So she was actually on a meat trade truck in China, and a wonderful charity, Rushton Dog Rescue, they stop those types of trucks and they take the dogs off and they bring us. So now Iris has gone from driving around in a meat trade truck in China to being with Martin Kemp from Bananarama.
She's a beauty.
What about Karen's dog, Beth? What about this one? Take a look. So Karen, who's this?
This is Winnie.
Well, I feel that this dog is going to be your best friend. I feel that you need to come out of your comfort zone in many circumstances. This dog will teach you so much about adventure. But what's very interesting is that animals know a lot about you and your lives as well. And as soon as I look at Winnie, she shows me, Karen, that you're going to go through a huge transformation next year, particularly around the 13th of January. There is something amazing that's going to start for you, and just be really brave and go for it. But the other thing I wanted to say to Martin as well, that Iris gives me the date of the 10th of December for you, Martin, for something, a date for your diary, something very exciting coming in. But the other thing that Iris shows me is there's a new baby coming into the family.
Why are you looking at me?
Rowan, is this something you haven't told me?
It's Harley.
Am I going to be Grandad?
It'll be Harley. Don't worry about it. It'll be Harley.
Oh my God! Listen, I think that's absolutely lovely, and it made me quite emotional listening to you.
I'm not
speak.
joking. Like you think I'm kidding, right?
Katie was nearly crying.
I was. It was.
No, but my dad was actually crying there. My dad was actually crying a little bit there. That's really nice. Beth, do you know what? That's really nice of you to be able to come onto the show today. So thank you so much for doing that. Let's hear it for Beth, everyone. Thank you so much. In 2003, at just 19 years old, Katie Melua's debut album, Call Off the Search, reached #1 in the UK and sold a staggering 1.8 million copies in its first 5 months. That is an astounding number, okay? But by 2006, she had become the highest-selling female artist in the UK and Europe, but now she's back with some brilliant new music. Katie, so good to have you here. Here's the new album.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, even after doing this for, a lot of years, it's still a pleasure to be here and to be, showing my work.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I mean, this album is fantastic. It's your 8th studio album, and you called it album number 8.
I know, super simple, but I'm just amazed because it's recently come out and we're getting such phenomenal reactions, not just here in the UK, but also all across the world.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, very excited.
I mean, this music is slightly different to your older music. It's more autobiographical.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's so lovely to be here because, I come from Georgia, in Eastern Europe. My whole family's from there. We moved over when I was 8 years old, and this is the first time where I guess the lyrics are entirely my own. And so in a lot of the songs, I'm depicting life as I see it here. I really view life in England through these very kind of, I don't know, quite rose-tinted eyes, but I don't know, I see a lot of beauty and a lot of grace and kindness here. Yeah. So I'm trying to put a lot of that in the songs.
And you mixed it all in your bedroom, didn't you, at home? Or not in your bedroom, right?
It was almost my bedroom. The lockdown coincided with our mixing period for the album. And as you know, mixing is such fine-tuning work, right? Have you ever had it where your ears hurt when you're in a mixing studio?
Yeah, I get it. Every time we record this show, I have this real pain comes from this side, and I don't know what it is, and it's just like a fly. Well, but yeah, I don't know.
No, but mixing, because you're concentrating on the sound of the drums, the sound of the voice, what imaginary spaces you put them in. Yeah. And then lockdown happens, and Cameron Craig, who was the mixing engineer, he was like, "Okay, we can do this virtually." And I was like, "Really?" He said yes.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
That is incredible.
Your second track is called Your Longing Is Gone. We've got a clip of it. We've got a clip of the video. Let's take a look at this.
video is beautiful. It's like a little mini film, isn't it? Is that what you wanted out of it?
Well, yeah, I mean, music videos these days, it's not, you know, the majestic 80s. So, you know, we put them up online and it's just an opportunity for people to hear the music. You put some kind of visuals to it. I actually got to go to Georgia to film this, which was quite incredible.
Cool.
And that place where you see the car driving is just by the Black Sea, where I spent all my summers.
Oh, that's really nice. So it's a real, like, personal thing for you.
Incredibly so. Yeah, because it represents freedom and happiness being there. So
Very
wanted to
nice.
get that in.
Beautiful.
Listen, Katie, you're a bit of a... this is what I've been told. You're a bit of an adrenaline junkie, right? Now, this has to be the weirdest thing. I don't know if they're having me on by asking you this question. Is it true that you have the record for the deepest underwater concert?
It's true.
That's ridiculously cool. How? What is it?
Okay, so I was just after release of the first record.
Yep.
My management got a phone call saying, would Katie be up for doing a very deep underwater concert at the bottom of a gas rig? And one of the workers, one of the managers of this gas rig off the coast of Norway is a jazz pianist. And he'd heard my record and he thought maybe I'd be up for doing this gig with all his colleagues. And I just thought, yeah, why not? We had to ring the band round to make sure they were happy to do it too, and they were. And it was remarkable because we had to train in a helicopter being lowered into a pool to be able to escape a helicopter if it crashes. Because those oceans, those seas can be so treacherous.
And who's carrying the guitar?
Well, we travelled in a helicopter to the gas rig, and then there was a 10-minute lift to go down to the bottom. And I have to say, there was a little gap between the platform and the lift, and I made the mistake of looking down, and it was just this sort of endless abyss. And
Wow, I bet it all went so well until you plugged in.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like a remarkable building. Once we were down there, you look up, and again...
So how deep do you go?
It was 300 metres underneath the sea level.
That is ridiculous. I do quite like the idea that when they sold it to you the first time, you know, because you're a very quiet, cool, calm person. I imagine them saying, "Look, can you do a deep gig?" And you're like, "Oh God, I love that. Really deep. Really, you know, really get to the core of ourselves." No, like literally deep, like down there.
Yeah, that's amazing. But listen, we can't help but notice you've got your guitar with us. We are starved of live music on this show. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play a little snippet of the song we had earlier, Your Longing Is Gone.
Amazing. Let's hear it, please.
And then the sea grew dark and out it flew. Your longing is gone. It was sweet like a summer sky. Your longing is gone. I just got used to it being all mine.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much for that. That was really, really nice.
Listen, Katie, thank you so much for being here. Katie's single, Your Longing's Gone, is out now.
Yeah, Katie,
Thank
thank you
you
so much, mate. That was so wonderful. We've got to take a break right now, but when we come back, the legend that is Sir Cliff Richard is dropping in, and we are taking a look at the TV shows that you should be watching this week. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Welcome back to Mike and Roman's Sunday Best.
Yes, Strictly playing Revel. Horwood is dropping in later to talk about his brand new book, but the question is, will we both give it 10?
And there's only one way we can start this next interview, and that's by saying...
Congratulations and celebrations.
Because our next guest has just turned 80, released a new album, written new songs, and has a new autobiography out. So, Cliff Richard, we are honoured to have you on the show this morning.
Yes. So, Cliff, now I've got to ask, your 80th celebration, you were meant to be performing at the Royal Albert Hall. What did you do instead?
Yeah, I mean, I was planning to celebrate my birthday with 20,000 people spread over 4 days at the Albert Hall. I had to whittle it down a bit to 6.
I mean,
But it was a good time.
you receive so many letters, I'm sure, but I can't imagine the amount of fan mail on your birthday. I mean, look at that photo that we've got. Now, Sir Cliff, please tell me that despite, you know, your age and everything that you've been through, please tell me you still do that thing that we all did as kids. You shake the card to see how much money is in it.
Well, the funny thing is I do, because I have a charitable trust, and very often, if you don't check the envelope, then checks get lost. So my secretary does the work for me, though, but she checks everything that comes towards us, and if there's a check, we put it straight into the charitable trust. But that's the only reason why I go to the bank now.
But you've released over 100 albums now, we counted, and you've got a new one coming out for your 80th birthday. I mean, how on earth do you choose what tracks you're going to do nowadays?
I mean, the 100 plus albums were not all studio albums. So, you know, during the course of the year, sorry, I've just dropped my book. During the course of all the years of the 62 years of singing, record companies like to present the golden discs of, the silver discs of, remastered discs of. But I think I've got, this album is now the 54th studio album.
Wow,
and
amazing.
It's not 54, it's definitely 50, yeah. But I've always liked recording. If I never did anything else, I'd like to record every single day of my life. It would be fabulous.
I mean, it sounds like you have a great time recording, but it looks like you have an incredible time performing as well. Let's take a look at you in action, Sir Cliff.
'Cause all I want is you, and no one else in this world will do. It's crazy, but it's true. I'm falling for you. Yeah, I'm falling for you.
Oh, incredible. Incredible.
And you've been so busy. You've also got an autobiography out. I mean, and where do you find the time to do all this stuff?
I guess it's a matter of sort of setting it out. And with this year, for instance, at this moment, the reason I'm here in Britain, I reside in Barbados now, but it's because I want to present my book and my album, and it takes time. Some years, in some of the years past, I've been able to get back for like 2 weeks, and then everything gets crushed. This time, I came for 2 weeks and did quarantine, in which time I used those moments to do the audio version of the book, and then started doing promotional work. But it was spread more over 4 weeks than 2. So it's been relatively comfortable and it was very easy to fit you in.
Listen, I'm just surprised there's just a book and not volumes of it. I mean, the story spread over that long is amazing.
Well, I have an album.
Oh, you're an old hand.
As well.
That is so good. It's like, almost like a Cliff Richard episode of QVC at the same time. It's great. It's really good. Really, really good. Listen, Sir Cliff, thank you so much for joining us today. Let's hear it for Sir Cliff Richard, everyone. And Sir Cliff Richard's brand new album, Music, The Air That I Breathe, is out now. And of course, you can also get the book, The Dreamer. So Cliff, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, mate.
Now, if the dark nights and the curfew are making you stay indoors, then we have got some great entertainment recommendations for you in
our best picks. Okay, let's start with a brilliant new watch on ITV. Now, this is called Don't Rock the Boat. It's brand new, and in this show, 12 celebrities have to row the entire length of Britain. Right? Some of the celebrities that are set to sail include Denise Lewis, Jodie Kidd, Fleur East, Craig Charles, Alan Thomas and Kimberly Wyatt. It's presented as well by cricket superstar Freddie Flintoff and the wonderful AJ Adudu. Take a look.
You're about to take on a roar in some of the world's most challenging waters.
Don't give up! We're going to be on 2 separate boats. Keep pushing! We're almost there! 2 rival teams racing against each other. Get your oars in, Sean! Don't slow down!
That is terrifying.
Very tough.
Looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I've got
very
a good
good.
one this week. My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. Now, My Octopus Teacher tells a story of a man named Craig Foster who formed a unique friendship with an octopus who showed him things that no human has ever witnessed before. Have you ever seen this?
No.
This is probably my favourite recommendation of the whole series. It's a man falling in love and creating a relationship with a tiny little octopus, and it's just the best thing on TV at the moment. Watch this.
I remember the day when it all started, seeing this really strange thing. A lot of people say an octopus is like an alien. But the strange thing is, as you get closer to them, you realize that we're very similar in a lot of ways. It's a hard thing to explain, but sometimes you just get a feeling and you know there's something to this creature that's very unusual.
I'm not gonna lie, I do know a lot of people that have seen that and they say how emotional it is. But you were crying excessively. Excessively. No.
I was crying.
No, I walked in at home and my mum and my dad are like, oh God, oh God.
Everyone's going to get to our age, don't they, Martin?
What was it you had for dinner last night? It was the
octopus. No, shush, bro. Stop it.
But Katie, what can you recommend for us, please?
Well, I just think this is incredible. David Attenborough's new programme, Life on Our Planet. And, I mean, I adore it. I mean, he's a complete legend. But in this series, he talks about what each of us can do to have a chance of saving the environment.
That's amazing. I mean, take a look at this.
Wherever I went, there was wilderness. Sparkling coastal seas. Vast forests. Immense grasslands. You could fly for hours over the untouched wilderness. And there I was, actually being asked to explore these places and record the wonders of the natural world for people back home. And to begin with, it was quite easy. People had never seen pangolins before on television. They'd never seen sloths before. They'd never seen the central New Guinea before.
Girls, what would you recommend?
Well, I would like that.
Yeah.
The first thing that came up to my head, which is the last thing I watched, which was Mindhunter, which was looking into the psychology of serial killers.
Yeah.
And actually going to interview them before they were even called serial killers. And I just got quite caught up in it and thought it was great.
It is super cool, and like the David Attenborough film as well, you can catch it on Netflix. Okay, it's time to take a break, but stay exactly where you are, because in a few moments, Craig Revel Horwood, really sorry, I'm gonna keep saying it, he's gonna tell us who he is tipping for success on this year's Strictly. We'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Bananarama, Katie Melua have been here all morning.
Yeah, but now it's time to welcome our final guest. Now, everyone knows Craig Revel Horwood as a Strictly judge, a West End star, and a choreographer. But now he's written his first novel, Dances and Dreams on Diamond Street. Craig, great to talk to you, mate. Hello.
Hello, Walter.
Craig, I've got to say, firstly, I'm so sorry. I can't help but say your name like that. Do you find do people come up to you in the street and say your name like that?
Yeah, they do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I love it, darling. I love the way you say it.
Oh, thank you.
I think you should do the announcements on Strictly. There you go.
Right, listen, it's fantastic. Thank you so much for coming on today. I've got your book here, Dances and Dreams on Diamond Street. I mean, tell me about this one. What can we expect?
Well, I wrote 3 autobiographies, and there were a lot of stories that I couldn't put in them, darling. So I thought, what can I do over the lockdown period that obviously extended beyond the 6 months, we thought. And I thought, I know, I'll change all the names and write a fictitious novel. And that's what actually sort of happened. But I kept myself as the lead character, but obviously hotter version of me. and he's called Danny, and he lives in a house. He's strangely odd because he is a dancer turning from dance into a choreographer in the 90s. So it pretty much follows my life and my experiences, but in a house share of 6 people, and all the trials and tribulations, of course, that happens, between people that are all fighting, for supremacy in one building. And I suppose lockdown has proved that to everyone, hasn't it? If you're locked down with a house share, that's going to be tough. But this was great fun to write, and brilliant characters, and hopefully I've made a beautiful big arc for it. And it's a little bit, I guess, like Sex and the City meets Tales of the City.
Craig, I've got to point out the incredible effort for pluggage here, because look at the background. I mean, you've got all 3 of your books on one side over there. I love that,
darling.
I absolutely love that. What are the awards? Because I can see the awards behind you. What have you got?
Oh, there's too many to put on the shelves, darling. I just put the pretty ones up there, No,
Only the pretty ones.
This is actually my office. It really is. It's not a setup. I mean, I do keep all my books here and stuff like that I send out to people. But obviously, for promotional purposes, I have placed them strategically around.
But you're back on Strictly, aren't you, at the moment?
Yeah, back on Strictly, thank goodness. I'm absolutely loving it. I think the BBC, Martin, have done an absolutely brilliant job of bringing it to the viewers. It's no mean feat. As you're aware, of the 2-metre rule and getting people dancing in bubbles and all of that sort of thing. It's been quite a nightmare for them. But they have brought a fantastic, fantastic cast to the show. Brilliant group routines, and Bill Bailey. Darling, what else can we say?
Are we going to see the Strictly curse raising its head again this year? I mean, no, but it's true, isn't it? Because you're in a much tighter bubble, so things are going to be even more intense.
But less options, darling, that's the thing.
I've got to say, Craig, I will level with you, right? I will level with you. There's been a lot of times over the years where both my mum and dad have spoken about the opportunity of being able to do Strictly Come Dancing. I am the person that says to them, don't do it. Now, that is only because just because of the track record. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm sure they'd be absolutely fine, but as a kid, I'm like, please don't.
No.
So blame me for them. Martin Kemp's not on Strictly because of me, mate. I'm sorry. He would love to do it.
Yeah, well, it might be your turn actually next.
Yeah, that's right.
If you are the good on it, I can see you in a nice light pink, sequined outfit.
Oh, steady, Craig, steady. But yourself and Shirley Ballas, you're bringing out a DVD as well, looking at your favourite routines from the show. Do you have an all-time favourite routine?
I do, as a matter of fact, and it's Jill Halfpenny's Jive, and I'll tell you why. It was in Series 2, it was the final, and it was the first time that I ever got my 10 paddle out. And that always sticks in my mind. I think, Jill and her Jive set the benchmark, really, for celebrities going into the programme, certainly the following years, where they said, wow, we really have to dance, and I think, once she said that, sort of, it really made sense, and it was great. I absolutely loved it. So that's sort of my favourite. I mean, I've had so many, though, over the last, 18 series.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's hard to really, and 60 countries worldwide. I mean, it's amazing how it's taken the world by storm.
It's a fantastic achievement.
Wonderful show.
It's a great thing, and it's something I'm sure you are already, but you should be very proud of. But we do know as well. I mean, we can tell just from chatting to you here, you're a flamboyant, charismatic geezer, but we have heard some crazy things that we would like to ask you if they are true. So if you wouldn't mind, we would like to do a little segment called Strictly the Truth.
Oh, no.
Now, is it true? Okay, so here we go. So see, you can rattle through these quickly. Is it true that you get your cleaners to sign a non-disclosure agreement, also known as an NDA?
True.
It's true. What?
Yeah, of course I do.
Is it true?
Is he telling stories of how soiled my sheets are?
Is it true that you play the harp?
No, that's false. It's true that the Post lost it, and I was buying it for my fiance, Jonathan. It was his birthday present.
Very nice. What about this?
Yeah.
You planted your own vineyard in your garden.
True. Yes.
That is pretty good.
The wine won't be ready for another 4 to 6 years, though, darling. So
Is
and
it
then
true?
I could be just like Sir Cliff.
Yeah. Is it true you taught Hugh Grant to tap dance?
Yes, that is true. I did a little movie called Paddington 2. And at the end, he had to do a great big tap dance in the prison. So, yeah, he was amazing, actually. It took him 3 weeks to actually get, but he worked solidly. I'm not joking, like 6 hours a day, just doing those steps. And in the end, I was thinking, oh, I wonder if we should use it. And then he came up, boom, smashed it, and was absolutely brilliant. So that was good fun.
Were you a harsh critic with Hugh? I've got to ask.
Yeah, of course, my name's on the bill, darling.
That
Yeah,
is
less
great.
about Hugh Grant.
I love that. Well, listen, you've cleared up a lot. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's hear it for Craig Revel, everyone. And Craig's Bird Dances and Dreams on Diamond Street is out right now. But it is game time. As always, we need a judge to decide the winner. So let's welcome back one of our favourite judges, because this one isn't biased. Isn't that right, Dan?
That's right.
Aside from Craig Revel Horwood, she's our favourite judge as well, let's say. It is Nan Ruth. Hello, Nan Ruth.
Hey, Nan Ruth, how are you? You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Oh, loving your dress.
Thank you.
Very nice. Ruth, as always, you're not going to be the biased grand today, are you?
I am not a biased one. I'm a very fair judge, but I do like you, Roman.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, you do, Ruth. Right, let's play a game called... Let me introduce you. Okay, so Katie, Karen and Sarah, you'll be glad to know it's pretty straightforward, this one. Okay, the cloud swirling above us there is going to play the introduction to a song, and the first of us to recognise it has to buzz in. We each have a buzzer. Let's test them out. Girls, please test your buzzer. Very good, Katie.
Okay.
Dad, let's test your buzzer.
My buzzer?
Yeah. And here we go. Okay.
Okay, let's buzz in with your answers as quick as you can. The team with the most correct answers is the winner. And as always, Granny Judge is going to keep the score. Are you ready?
Yes.
Great.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's play.
Ready? Here we go.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Let's take a listen.
Oh, well done.
I didn't get that. Did you have that?
No, I was waiting for a bit longer.
Didn't have it. Didn't have it.
That
Right,
is
okay.
great.
Let's hear another one, please. Oh my God.
Love in the First Degree.
Let's take a listen.
That's cheating. No, it's not.
That's cheating.
It's not cheating.
Although, to be fair, if I played true, we would have had to get to the third chorus for him to realise. Don't worry about it. Let's get another one on, please. I got that.
Oh.
You got that?
Missy Elliott.
Yeah, what's the song? Do you know it?
Freak On.
Get your freak on. Let's take a listen.
Freak on.
People sing around, the people gather round,
Yes.
the people jump
What a
around.
tune.
Great track.
Right, should we do one more?
Yeah.
All right, let's go, please.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it now, I got it now.
No, that's VAR. That's...
VAR, let's go. Oh, no, we don't need VAR. Yeah, it was definitely Roman. Right, I'm going to say it's David Bowie. Let's dance. Let's take a listen.
Yes.
Yeah. So do we need a decider?
I actually think we need a decider.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do one more.
Let's try one more.
I think it's the closest thing to Crazy by Katie Melua.
Let's take a listen.
This is the closest.
Good. Beautiful. Very good.
All right, let's find out who won. Then Ruth, over to you.
I'm happy to say, Roman, you won.
That's your lot for today. But if you missed any of the show or you just fancy watching us all over again, you can catch up now on the ITV Hub.
Yeah, big thanks to our guest today. Let's hear it for Nan Ruth. Yes, Katie Melua, Craig Revel and to Cliff Richard.
And to Sarah and Karen from Bananarama.
Yes. We are back next Sunday for our final episode of the series, but we have an incredible lineup as well. Piers Morgan, Vet Noel Fitzpatrick,
James Blunt, and Diversity stars Jordan Banjo and Perry Keeley.
Yeah, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and we will see you next week. Goodbye.
See you next week.